What's up, guys? So Spencer Cornelia got to the point where he is really tired of people in his comments saying, oh, you're greedy, you're rich, you're multimillionaire, blah, blah, blah. So he came out with this video where he basically exposed how much money he makes, what his net worth is, different things like that, which, by the way, I think that's a bad idea. I understand why he did it because, you know, he's at a point where he has really nothing to lose. At least he feels that way because he's already, you know, basically had his life ruined and spent $300,000 on his lawsuit. But for me personally, you know, I just think of the different risks that you open yourself up to when you expose how much money you have. You know, you got the possibility now of somebody trying to find you and go get that, you know, somebody trying to rob you. Other people might want to sue you. You know, it's just not really a good idea in my personal opinion. So I just wanted to share that. I know for me personally, you won't ever see me share my net worth. It's just not something I'm interested in. I'm not going to be showing off my cars or whatever watches I got or how many homes I got. I know YouTube, it's cool to do because, you know, I don't know, it's social media. Like, that's just the thing that people do. It gets a lot of views when you do stuff like that. But, you know, that's just not my style. And I don't think that's really wise. But I understand why Spencer did it, though. I do understand why Spencer did it. Like, I get it. I just don't think he should have, you know. Let's go ahead and watch the video, though, and see what he has to say. Sorry, it played a little early. Okay, let's watch the video and see what Spencer has to say, and then I'll just kind of give my commentary and go from there.
I released a video last week with my attorney talking about my lawsuit, and I mentioned a GoFundMe that I started. So I am putting a link in the description below for a GoFundMe. This has been an incredibly challenging time in my life.
Oh, by the way, guys, I do support Spencer, just to make it very clear. And his GoFundMe is in the link in the description, and it's in the pinned comment. I really do think that we should all support Spencer and donate. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but I personally donated. And if anybody wants to help support him, the link is in the description. Okay, back to the video.
I was surprised to see a lot of negative comments towards me, and I realized there was just some disconnect, and so I'm making this video to share everything about my income, my net worth, my expenses, everything, so that you have a better understanding of why I started a GoFundMe.
You know what the saddest thing about this video is? He's basically explaining to you why he's doing it. He's saying that I'm doing it because there's a disconnect, but I don't think that's true. I think he's sharing it because he doesn't like some of the comments that he's getting. A lot of content creators make this mistake of, and I've done this before too, you let some of the comments get to you, and so you make a whole video responding to it. Me, Kevin does this a lot. Other creators have done this a lot, and I think Spencer's doing this too. And here's the other mistake that I think he's making. I personally think that regardless of how much money he has or whatever, they're the same people that still hate him and still think that he's a millionaire, he's rich. It doesn't matter what this video isn't going to change their thinking. It's not going to change anything. The same people that hate him and dislike him are still going to hate him and dislike him. They're still going to think that he deserves everything he's getting. They're still going to think that he's an arrogant, rich prick, a-hole, whatever they want to call him. Nothing is going to work. So that adds on another reason why I really don't think this video is even necessary, because if you're making this video because you think there's a disconnect between some trolls in the comments, well, they're not going to care either way. They're there to be jerks. You know, they're not there to understand. I think most of us who pay attention know that Spencer's not a millionaire. I think that's obvious. I really don't even think this video was necessary, Spencer, because if anybody has common sense, it's like, wait a minute. If this guy has spent $300,000 so far, and he's claiming on multiple videos, on multiple live streams with people like me, that it has completely ruined his life and destroyed his mental health, then a person with common sense will say, well, clearly he's not a millionaire. So if you have idiots in the comments who are saying, oh, you're just a millionaire, you're a multimillionaire, you're rich, blah, 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 they're just stupid, you know, or they're just jerks. So I don't even know why you would respond to those people. I think it should be obvious enough that the fact that this $300,000 lawsuit that you've, you know, in legal fees you've had to spend has ruined your life should already be proof enough. I really don't think you needed to make this video expose your net worth. But since you did, we'll go ahead and pick through it.
Released this video where I interview my attorney who's defending me in a frivolous lawsuit against a fake guru. In that video, I shared how much I've spent so far. Important part, attorney's fees. I've spent $282,598.
Okay, we know he spent that much. Let's get into his actual like net worth and stuff.
Make insane amounts of money, but the truth is I do not. Let's open up the books. I own 4 properties in Las Vegas. I have made a video on YouTube including the numbers to all of them, but let's do an update right now. I have a 7-bed house that generates $4,400 a month in rental income. I'd estimate I spend around $3,000 a month in total expenses, $1,400 a month.
I feel like that's pretty good. I mean, keep in mind, I know nothing about real estate, so I can't criticize it or say that it's good, but I feel like The fact that he's making $4,400 and he's spending $3,000 on this property, which means he's profiting $1,400, I feel like that's pretty good. What do you guys think? I don't know. I feel like that's pretty good. Again, I know nothing about real estate, but that actually sounds pretty decent.
To net cash flow from this property. I have a 6-bed house that generates $4,700 a month in rental income. Total expenses are around $4,000 a month for $700 a month net cash flow. I have a 6-bed house hack that I live in that generates $4,700 a month in rental income.
Oh, this is interesting. So the house that he lives in, which is a 6-bedroom house, which by the way, he has 6 roommates, which is what he said, which is crazy. But yeah, just so you guys know, this guy is not one of those people who's living in a 6-bedroom house by himself, living a high life and bragging it on. No, this guy is very frugal. That is one thing I will give Spencer. Now, me personally, well, Spencer is richer than me, but even with the money that I make now, I would never live in a house with 6 other people and 6 roommates. So Spencer is different from me in that regard. But I'm very interested in the fact that he's only making a $200 profit. And I actually do appreciate this video because I've always not really cared for real estate or liked it. I personally like investing in stocks better. That's just my thing. And this further proves why I really don't like real estate as a investment thing. I mean, I get it. Some people say that you can make a lot of money in real estate, but when I look at what Spencer is doing here, and I get it, you know, the house that he bought, it's going to appreciate in value over time. So over the course of years, decades, whatever, he'll probably double his money, maybe more if the property value goes up. I do understand that part of real estate. But when I just look at the monthly income, it's stuff like this that scares me. Now, the other one where he was making $1,400, that's pretty good. But to only be making $200 in net income, it just, I don't know. I'd rather buy some stocks, you know?
Total expenses are around $4,500 for a net cash flow of $200. I have an Airbnb that generates between $5,000 to $9,000 revenue each month. The expenses vary, but let's estimate a net cash flow of around $1,000 per month on average. The cash flow of around $3,000 from rental income fully covers my living expenses, car, health insurance, food. I'm frugal, so my personal expenses are pretty low. I now have a course called House Hack King where I detail how I have successfully operated the rent by room model. I currently charge $297 for the course and have made 3 sales so far. Kajabi costs around $200 a month, and there were some
I'm shocked that he only has 3 sales from his house hack course. I'm actually pretty shocked because he has such a huge following. Now, I guess my question would be, has he ever put the link or promoted on his main channel? I would assume probably no. I've been watching his videos. I don't think he's ever done it. So that could be why right there. But wow, I can't believe he's only gotten 3 sales. Wow. I would just expect somebody with 500,000 subscribers to get way more sales than that. So that's interesting. So basically in his course, he's only made about $900. Like he hasn't made much money at all from his course.
Expenses I incurred to make the course, so I'm currently in the red on the course despite some of you thinking I'm making millions. Maybe one day, but not yet. I'm a real estate agent. In 2022, I made $38,147 as an agent as side income. I bought 2 properties representing myself and had 2 nice size referral commissions. To date in 2023, I've made $3,307 from referrals. I refer people to my broker and make a referral commission when they buy or sell a property. Referrals are nice, but not expected. It's a nice side income when it happens, but not something I rely on. I have equity in a company called OPM Mastery. These guys are local in Vegas, met them through friends, and I fully believe in them, which is why I am an equity partner in their business. They assist small business owners in acquiring business credit and would love to help you if you're interested. I am a small equity partner and make on average $800 to $1,000 a month in disbursements. I currently do not have any cash reserves. My guesstimate is a net worth of around $600,000. Now, let's talk YouTube.
Okay, so he basically just exposed his net worth. So this is what I need you to understand, Spencer. So Spencer is making it seem like he doesn't make much money, but he just said he has a net worth of about $600,000. I think Spencer's in his 30s, right? He's like 31, 32, something like that. Whatever he is, he's definitely in his 30s. $600,000 as a net worth is incredible. The average American has like a negative net worth. So honestly, if you've got $600,000 as your net worth, given your properties and everything, even before this lawsuit, you are still extremely rich. Like, so just to push back a little bit, Spencer, I can see why some people in the comments are saying, oh, you're rich, screw you, you'll be all right. I think a lot of that, even though it's unfair, don't get me wrong, Spencer, it's unfair. I do agree with that. But there are a lot of bitter, sad, miserable, angry people who come on YouTube and just let it all out how they feel about themselves and the world. And a lot of that stems from the fact that most of the people who are commenting are probably broke, probably struggling to pay their bills, probably don't have $1,000 in their savings account, because most Americans don't have even $1,000 in their savings account or their emergency fund. And, you know, when you're looking at a bunch of people like that who don't make any money, struggling to make ends meet, struggling just to survive, and then they're looking at you and you're like, oh, I'm being sued. My life is being ruined. I just spent $300,000. But then they find out that your net worth is $600,000. And they find out that even though you're being sued, you still own a bunch of properties. You're still making income. I think that's part of the reason, Spencer, why some of the people get mad in the comments. Even though you're not a millionaire, you're still considered rich by American standards. You are absolutely 100% rich for your age. You are rich, no doubt about it. And I think that's why some of the people are upset, because people are like, man, you over here complaining, but you still got a place to live. You know, I don't even know what I'm going to eat this week. You know, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I don't even have enough money to pay my rent. I got to figure out how the heck I'm going to pay my rent. Or some people are like, man, I'm out here working 3 jobs just to be able to pay my bills every month. And you're over here complaining about the fact that you lost half your net worth because you got a $600,000 net worth and you spent $300,000. You know, you spent half your net worth on a lawsuit. That's the way that people are looking at it. You know, I'm trying to kind of, you know, play devil's advocate here a little bit, be reasonable. I mean, I could definitely kind of see where people are coming from, because I know me, the way that I grew up, parts of my life I grew up good. Don't get me wrong. I had good parents. Don't get me wrong. But there were definitely other parts of my life where I was dirt poor and we had nothing, you know. And there's a lot of people that I know that grew up dirt poor and have nothing. And I would honestly say this, Spencer, I can see why you would say that this situation ruined your life. But I think the average American will look at your situation and say, your life isn't truly ruined until you lost everything. So I think a lot of people are saying this guy still gets to keep his rental properties. This guy is still making income from those rental properties. This guy has 500,000 followers on YouTube making, you know, money on that. And yes, you spent $300,000, but it's not like you're on the street dirt poor. It's not like you have to file for bankruptcy. A lot of people think that you're being dramatic a little bit. And I understand why they feel that way, because, again, I'm not trying to, you know, make it seem like what you're going through isn't serious, Spencer. It is. But I'm just giving you the insight, because maybe you don't know this, because I know you talked about how you grew up privileged and, you know, you had good parents. So like I said, you might not know, but most people in America have it really, really hard. Really, really rough. There's a lot of people in America that don't have anything, don't got a pot to piss in, don't got $1 to their name, and you still have 4 rental properties, and, you know, you're online saying that your life is ruined with 4 rental properties. I think that's kind of the way that a lot of people in the comments are kind of interpreting it, you know?
We'll begin with the year 2023 so far. I've made a whopping $17,401 in AdSense. Massive, massive amounts of money. AdSense isn't so good so far.
That's actually really good. I think 17,000. You know how much I made last year in AdSense? $5,000. Think about it, Spencer. $17,000 might not be a lot to you because you're so used to making $50,000 or whatever you were making during like the pandemic. But you got to think about it like this. If you're making $17,000 as side money from YouTube and you've got a job, that's really good money. Now, yes, if you're a full-time YouTuber, that's terrible. But man, Spencer, if you had a job plus the rental income plus YouTube, man, that's really good. That's better than most Americans. That's just, so it really just depends on how you look at it, you know? It really just depends on how you look at it. And I still wonder too. I really do wonder. I know you're a full-time YouTuber, you got a huge following, but I just really don't understand why you guys don't have a job. You know, I'm not trying to be a jerk, Spencer, but I'm just being completely honest. I think it makes sense why Meet Kevin is a full-time YouTuber. He makes a crap ton of money on YouTube, and he'll always be that way because he just has the talent where people just love listening to him. Somebody like a you or, you know, Chris Sane or Larry, I don't know, some of these other people, I really don't understand why they don't get a job. I mean, I understand Chris Sane and like Stockmo because they've got Patreon. They're making like, you know, like $10,000, $20,000 a month just on Patreon. So if you could sustain Patreon for a while, I get it. But for you, Spencer, you don't have a Patreon. You're just now selling a course. Your only revenue streams are sponsorships and ad revenue. I really don't know why you don't get a job. If you had a job plus this, you would be really good. Like, I would love to be in that position. I would love to be in a position where I'm working my job right now and I'm making $17,000 a month just off AdSense. So I think it really just comes down to perspective, you know?
This year. Gained some subscribers and 5 million views overall. Let's now look at the month of April. $3,541 on 1 million views. And the month of May so far, just under $2,300 on 1.2 million views. I started uploading shorts, and so that's why my views and subscribers jumped quite a bit, watch time jumped, and revenue jumped a little bit. And so I'm using shorts as a way to grow the channel. But here you can see that the AdSense is really not that much. Here's the P&L for my media company, $17,400 in AdSense.
Well, this is going to be important to look at. So this is his P&L. So he's got $17,000 from AdSense. Jesus, he's making $31,490 from sponsorships. Good Lord. Now you guys know why I started taking sponsorships. Sheesh. Okay, he's made about $900 from course sales. Affiliate income, $1,700. Let's look at his expenses, because that's where it gets interesting. Filming help, $3,000. See, I don't know what the heck filming help means. Tools and subscriptions, $4,000. I don't know why your tools and subscriptions cost that much. Legal, $52,000. I understand because you're fighting a lawsuit. Operational, $14,000. I really don't understand why his setup costs so much. And then, oh my God, you are getting scammed. You're paying somebody $13,000 for editing. Oh my gosh, dude, just edit yourself. Like seriously, honestly, bro, you have such a huge following. I don't even think you need the fancy editing. Just turn on the camera and talk and just do your thing, or just edit yourself. I don't know. But $13,000 for editing just sounds insane to me, at least for your results. You know, I don't want to be mean, but I'm just being honest. For the results you're getting, where your revenue has gone down tremendously and your views have gone down and all that, I just think you're really getting scammed here, man. I really do. I would not be spending $13,000 for editing unless your revenue and your views are going up, which honestly, bro, I can tell you right now, your views are not going up. The only reason why that graphic you showed earlier showed that your views were going up is because you're putting out shorts now. The same thing happened to me. When I started putting out shorts, my views skyrocketed, but that's because they're including shorts, which, by the way, shorts don't pay anything. I don't even know why YouTube does it. Shorts are so stupid. I hate shorts so much. You guys never see me do shorts anymore. They're so dumb. Like, anyway, that's just kind of my opinion.
Sponsors have brought in $31,490. You can see why creators love sponsorships, because they are $37,000. That means I have spent more than $37,000 rating at a loss. This is I have of how I'm spending my money elsewhere, and so all of these expenses have gone directly into the content. I do have the potential outcomes for the case. In case you guys didn't catch that, we'll go over that now.
Okay, it looks like we're pretty much at the end of the video. So basically, geez, this video almost 20 minutes. Yeah, okay, this is basically the end, guys. I didn't even realize I had talked for this long. But yeah, obviously the lawsuit is really crushing him. Hopefully I explained how I feel well enough for you guys to kind of see where I'm coming from. Spencer, if you ever happen to watch this video, hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. I'm just giving like constructive criticism of how I feel. And like, honestly, man, I've been in situations numerous times in my life where, you know, the way that you're framing it, when you say that your life is ruined, I feel like it can be an insult to the average person. Don't get me wrong. I completely understand everybody's different. You have a different threshold of success and struggle than everybody else. I get it. But I'm just trying to bring you up to speed on how the average American lives. What we would consider your life being ruined is us having nothing, nowhere to live, nowhere to sleep, no way to make income. We don't know how we're going to eat this week. That's the real ruin your life, or you're really living in a terrible situation. I mean, I don't want to dox my friend, but I'll just go ahead and say it. He don't watch my YouTube anyway, and nobody's going to figure out who he is. And this is a true story. This is a dead true story. I was on the phone with my friend today, and my friend is really down on his luck. He doesn't have much money. Well, he really doesn't have any money. He's broke. He lives in a very bad neighborhood with like gangs literally at the end of the corner. And when I was on the phone with him, this man screamed because he saw a rat in his apartment. Like, his house has rats. Like, that's bottom to me. That's the worst of the worst. That's life is horrible for you. You know, you're living in a house, you got rats, you don't got no money, you don't know how you're going to eat this week, you don't know how the heck you're going to pay the rent, you're struggling. That's what I think to the average person is the real life kind of sucks. I really think for you, when I really look at everything you got going on, sure, you're down $300,000. But when I look at it, and sure, you gotta start a GoFundMe. But the fact that you still have 4 properties, I got to be honest, man. I really think it could be a lot worse for you. I think the worst case scenario for you where you could truly say your life would be ruined is if you have to sell all your properties, you're completely broke, and you get to the point where you're so poor, you have no idea how you're going to pay your bills and eat. I think the fact that you've still figured out a way to do it, even the fact that you've been able to take loans. I know you're going to say, because I know, Spencer, you were able to take out loans and all that. But I just want you to understand, man, some of us are in situations where we can't even do that. We don't even have collateral or money to put up where somebody would even give us a loan. We don't even have that. So we can't even get a loan to get out of our situation. We're just fucked. To be quite frank, we're just fucked. So, that's just kind of my opinion on it. But anyway, those are just my thoughts. I'm just giving my thoughts on the whole thing. I still support Spencer 100%. If you want to donate to his GoFundMe, the link is down in the description below. And yeah, that's my opinion on the whole thing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.